Welcome back to week 3 of Predicting the NFL with Mickey G. First of all, I'd like to address the fact that I am not wearing a jersey, quite obviously. And the reason for that is, when looking through my closet to choose which jersey I was going to wear this week, I realized that my brother took most of them to college with him. So, unfortunately, I am not going to be wearing a different jersey every week. So, unless anyone wants to send me a couple jerseys, that'd be pretty cool. Anyways, moving on. So we had another interesting week this week, and I'd like to start off with the fact that the Jaguars are beautiful. Okay, Jaguars beat the Patriots 31-13. Okay, that's epic. This is a game that a lot of people will, I don't know, see how good the Jaguars are, because the Patriots are always good. Okay, no one cares anymore. But wanted to see how good the Jaguars really were going to be this year. And I think they really proved that they could win some games. Considering that they didn't play Leonard Fournette, and their starting left tackle, Cam Robinson, got hurt in the first quarter. And they still ended up kicking him. So that was pretty epic. Unfortunately, I went 8-8. Which is not good. Which brings my total to 16-16. Because I've gone 8-8 the past 2 weeks, which is garbage. I'm performing horribly, and I'm sorry for this. This week will be better. Guaranteed, at least 9-7, okay? Hold me to it. I don't know what I'll do if I don't get it, but I'm going to get it, so it doesn't matter, Anyway, so the Jaguars were the game of the week, Jaguars-Patriots game of the week, so I got that one correct. The next special games are the Titans-Texans, which was the crap fest. And I was incorrect in picking Deshaun Watson and friends because they failed us once again. The Titans won. And then the upset was the Falcons over the Panthers, which I was correct in my assumptions there. Bengals had a surprise. I should have had that be my upset, but instead I did not. Chargers beat the Bills. Vontae Davis retired at halftime. So when your own players are retiring at halftime because you're so bad, there's an issue. Buffalo, fix your stuff. Next, I had the Miami New York Jets. Got that one incorrect. The Jets didn't play to how they played week 1, and I was very sad about this. Either that or the Lions were just really bad. One of the two. The Chiefs surprised us all, not in winning, but in the fact that Patrick Mahomes threw 6 touchdown passes. Okay. Ben Roethlisberger on the other side had 60 passes attempted. That is insane. Le'Veon Bell still not back and probably not going to be back, and I still don't care. Next, we have the Case Keenum squad fam beating the Raiders in a close one that went down to the wire. It's good for you, Case. Love you, man. Then we had the Zane Gonzalez failure show down in New Orleans. Yeah, the Browns missed, 3 field goals and extra points. And if they lost by 3, so if they would have made one of those, they would have tied, which would have been really dumb. But if they would have made 2 of them, they would have won the game. And so Zane Gonzalez is no longer on the Browns. So, bummers for him. Maybe you should make a field goal. The Colts surprised me in their win over the Redskins, as the Redskins looked so slightly more like I expected them to. Although Chris Thompson still had 13 receptions for 93 yards or something stupid like that. Though he did give me a lot of fantasy points. There was another tie this week, which is quite dumb. I did not enjoy the tie between Kirk Cousins and the Packers due to, once again, missed field goals. If the kicker for Minnesota makes either of those field goals, they don't go to overtime, they win the game, or if they win in overtime, or if the Packers kicker makes it, why are the kickers so bad this year? I don't understand. It's like they weren't like this last year. They were making, I don't know, it's just dumb. Tampa Bay surprises all, once again destroying a team with Fitzmagic over the Eagles. However, the Eagles will have Carson Wentz back next week, but the real question is whether or not Fitzpatrick will have as dope of a post-game outfit as he did this week. The Cardinals are still bad, and they got wrecked by the Rams, to no one's surprise. The 49ers played a decent game against the Lions, so no surprise there again. And the Giants let me down. They lost to the Cowboys, who I thought were going to be absolute garbage. But apparently they're just regular garbage. And it's the Giants that may end up being absolute garbage, considering the fact that their offensive line is horrible. And then finally we had the Bears, who I picked. I'm so glad I picked them to beat Russell Wilson and the gang down in Seattle. I'd also like to address the one-hand catches by both James Conner and Keelan Cole. Congratulations, both of you, being better than Odell. That is right. Moving on now from the recap to the picks. And the first game on the list is the upset of the week, my friends. That is right. The Jets at Cleveland. And guess who gets the dub here, guys? Well, if it's an upset, then it's probably Cleveland, because they are never picked to win. So that is right, guys. Cleveland is going to get their first dub of the season and go to 1-1-1, which is still dumb. Next, we have Case Keenum and the Broncos taking on the Ravens. Now, this is going to be an interesting one here, okay? Because the Case, he played well, but he's still having turnovers, okay? But the Ravens just lost to Cincinnati, who we didn't expect to be that good this season. But apparently they are quite good. I'm not sure here, but I got to go with Case continuing to display how to win football games and getting it done against the Ravens. Next, we have the Titans at the Jaguars. Now, last year, the Jaguars could not beat the Titans, okay? Which was very frustrating because they were better than the Titans. Because Titans were just mediocre. The Jaguars were quite nice. Now this year I do not believe will be similar to last year, in that the Jaguars will destroy the Titans, move to 3-0 on the season, pushing the Titans down to 1-2. All thanks probably to the BOAT, Blake Bortles. Absolute beast of a man, throwing for 377. 4 touchdowns. Next, we have Gruden's squad of whack-doodles at the Miami Dolphins. And, sorry, Oakland, but your season is not going as planned. And it will continue to not go as planned as the Dolphins, once again, beat their opponents, moving themselves all the way to 3-0. Now, we're moving on here to the NFC-AFC games. And the first of these excitements is the Bengals at Carolina. Now, you see, the games we've seen out of the Bengals have been quite exciting. They came back from a deficit to beat the Colts, and on Thursday night, they absolutely wrecked the Ravens with their passing game from Andy Dalton to A.J. Green. Now, I believe that he will continue this trend, considering that the Panthers are not that good of a team. So they get that dub there, yeah. Next, we have the Giants at the Texans. Both teams underperforming than what they were supposed to do. But one of them's got to win. So I believe that Deshaun Watson and squad, this is the third game together. Third game, right? They're going to get this done, and they're going to show the Giants that they are still the Giants of last year. Adding Saquon is not going to change overnight. Next, we have the Jimmy G and friends at Kansas City. I think we all know the way this one's going to go. Patrick Mahomes is probably going to pull something out of his butt once again. I don't know. Not really pointless. He's playing really well, and I said that he wasn't going to be very good, and I was wrong. So Pat Mahomes and friends beat Jimmy G. That's how that goes. Next we have the most exciting game of the week, guys. Are you excited for the Bills at Minnesota? Now the worst part here is that the Bills aren't home. So they don't have home field advantage, okay? And they're playing Kirk, who just came off a tie, which is quite infuriating, okay? So they're going to go out there and they're going to absolutely demolish the Bills, and no one is surprised by this at all. Next, we have the Colts at Philly. Now, Philly has Carson Wentz back. Now, it'll be interesting to see how... Never mind, it's not going to be interesting at all. It's going to be very exciting because Carson Wentz is going to roll over the Colts, and they're going to move to 2-1. So, very nice, Eagles. I'm glad to see that your quarterback is back till Week 8 when the Jaguars destroy them. Best wishes. Finally, not finally, the next game or whatever, we have the Chargers at the Rams. This is the battle for Los Angeles, my friends. And I wonder who's going to be in the crowd. Not the Chargers fans, because there are none in Los Angeles. So that's right, guys. The Rams are going to be there, and the Rams are going to win. And that's because they're a far superior team, considering that the Chargers defense has been letting us all down, while the Rams have been destroying everyone. Next, we have the Patriots at Detroit. Detroit is not very good this year. They are not looking well. The Patriots, Bills come off a loss from the Jaguars. I don't think he liked that at all. He was not very excited the entire game. Trust me, I got to watch his facial expressions. It was lots of fun. So I do believe that the Patriots are going to win. No surprise there. Next, we have our game of the week. Now, this is going to be partly because the fact that this is probably going to be an extremely high-scoring game, considering the fact that well, let me just tell you what the game is first. The matchup is the Steelers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now you might understand why. Because the Steelers' defense, or at least their secondary, is absolute garbage. If I would have previously figured this out, I would have definitely picked the Chiefs to absolutely roll over the Steelers. And considering the fact that Ryan Fitzmagic over here is doing quite well, I believe he will continue to against this horrible defense. Now, it'll be a good game because it's going to be so high scoring, because the Buccaneers defense isn't that great. So, it's going to be quite high scoring, but Ben will probably have a pick or something, and yes, the Buccaneers will win the game. Now we're moving on to the NFC. We have the Saints at the Falcons. Now, if this was last year, this would have been the game of the week, most likely, but it is not. The Falcons have not been performing to the best of their ability, and the Saints almost lost to the Browns. And their defense is really bad. So I think I have to go with the Falcons here, considering that they are actually, playing somewhat okay, I guess. I don't know. Both these teams are not performing to their abilities. But I do believe that the Falcons might get this one here, just because the fact that I feel the Saints' defense is worse. And that is the entirety of which this game is based upon. Next, we have the Packers and the luckiest man alive at the Redskins. Now, this will be an interesting game. This will definitely be a good game because the Redskins have been playing a lot better than I expected them to, for one. And it's the Packers, so they usually do well. But once again, their defense is a concern. But they also have the luckiest quarterback in NFL history. So sadly, the Packers come out on top here. Which brings us to our next game. The Bears at Arizona. Now, considering that the Bears just beat Russell Wilson, and the Cardinals' offense is nowhere near what the Seahawks is with Russell back there, and their defense is not very good either, so I think the Bears have their best game thus far and win quite easily over the Cardinals. Finally, we finish off with our crap fest, that of the Cowboys, who they might have won last week, but I still don't think they're quite good, or really at all. And if they play any team with the ability to win games, then they're going to lose. Or if they play Russell Wilson, who should have been MVP last year, he had a great season with literally no one around him. So he goes on there and he torches the Cowboys and gets the first dub for the Seahawks this season. Congratulations. That is all for this week. My sponsor for this week is water. It's good stuff and it keeps you healthy. Delicious. And that is all for this week. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you feel like it. And tell your friends. Because, that'd be cool, I guess, Feel me? That is all for this week. And adios.